Hi folks, it's another day. We are up here in the little workshop. I'm going to put drywall over there on the unfinished portion of the wall. I got all my wiring in, so that's the last bit of drywall that I've got to do for now, and then I can start mudding and taping, get a desk in here. It won't take me long to mud and tape this whole thing. Getting everything out of here will. I've got to get everything out of here so I can mud and tape. But that's what I'm up to next. Get this little project done. Little bit by little bit, I'm getting these little things knocked out, getting them checked off my list. I make a list and I start knocking them out, and that's the way you get things done. You stay at something until you get it done. And these little projects have been needing to be finished up for a while. So trying to knock them out, trying to get this thing finished up so I can mud and tape and get this workshop tidied up to where we can use it. Now that I've got this cut, now I've got to cut out this maze of plugs and access panels and our breaker box. I've got to cut it all out. I've got to take a bunch of measurements, so I won't bore you guys with that. I'll take all my measurements, cut it out, and then I'll show installing it. Maybe, if I get it all right. Having this much stuff this close together is kind of hard, but I'm gonna do my best. All right, folks, got that drywalled up. Got a little bit of gaps around it. It got kind of messy there a couple places, but a little bit of drywall mud be all right. In the corners, it's gonna be okay. It looks a whole lot better now than it did getting this drywall up. Alrighty, folks, another windy day. We're continuing on trying to finish up some of these little projects. Let me take you inside the workshop, show you what I'm working on next. I've got to finish trimming out around this support box. That's what I'm going to be working on today. It's going to get 3.5 inch trim all the way around, and then we've got somewhere over here, we've got some black trim that goes around that, and then I'm going to start trimming out all the odds and ends that haven't been trimmed out. Just after that, I'm going to start mudding and taping. I've got to do a bunch of cleanup in here before I start mudding and taping, but I'm gonna start getting this thing ready to use. That's our goal, is to get it tidied up and straightened up, get all the little projects done, maybe get a desk built this month. We're slowly but surely getting them done, and allergy season is killing me. I took a Benadryl last night, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm a cheap drunk. This morning I'm so lethargic because of the Benadryl. I just cannot seem to stay focused and stay energized. Regardless of that, I'm going to finish up some of these projects and maybe even get to painting the rest of the ceiling, get trim painted. Just the natural progression of just getting a project tidied up. There's a punch list, and it's a long list. And as tired as I feel, it seems longer than it really is. I'm going to get after it. Okay, we got this trimmed out. Got the little piece of black trim around it. Looks real nice, looks real finished. The box wasn't sitting in there exactly square, the support box. So when I trimmed it out, I tried to straighten up the trim, and then it's still kind of off when you put the black trim on there, but it looks really good. Now I'm on to this side. I'm going to trim out this up here. It needs it. Been needing it for a while so I can finish painting. I've got to trim out where the drywall meets the roof on both sides. And I've got to figure out how to do that. I've got a couple junctions here where boards are meeting. I've got to see how I'm going to make that transition. I'm going to have another piece of trim up here, and it's all got a transition, and I'm just doing it by the seat of my pants. So I'll make it work out one way or another, but it's just going to take some doing. Like I say, I'm flying by the seat of my pants when it comes to this trim. It's all custom. But it'll work out. Alrighty, got that in. Now my next piece of trim is going to go, it's going to be a 3/4 by 1. It's going to go up. I've got to cut out that trim so it'll fit in behind it. Have a piece of trim up in there, and it's going to meet up nicely down here. It's going to be the same thickness. I'll probably just conk along that top. I played around with some 1/4 round and some bead, but it doesn't really need it, I don't think. And we're probably going to have some shelves up there to store stuff on, just to get it up out of the way, you know, little odds and ends of things. But it's looking pretty nice. I've got a conk along there when I go to paint. It's all turning out real nice. The trim around the stove turned out really well. I really like the trim around the support box. Got this now, just a couple more pieces and we'll be ready to paint up here. I think it looks real good. It's kind of rustic. A lot of our trim is real rustic, even though it's painted. I really like how it turned out and I really like how it's looking. It's not, it looks more like a cabin, and it looks more older than it would if we'd put sheetrock or something like that in here. But I really like the way it's looking, the way it's coming together. Alrighty, we got the trim done on the top, except for right over where the tile's gonna go, and right here I've got to get a piece of trim to go over this. I'm gonna lay some carpet up there. Got to get trim to go over that. I think I mentioned that before. But all the trim's done. I just need a bunch of conch now. Outside needs reconked, as I mentioned in one of my earlier videos. I've got to conch all this and paint it, and then it's on the mud and tape. We are going to town, I think, tomorrow, so I'm going to pick up a case of conking so I can conch all this and then paint it and start working on the drywall. So far on my list, I've got the trench dug, got my wiring finished, got the drywall in, got the trim done. Just need to conch and paint it now, and then on to drywall and mudding and taping. That's what's next on the agenda. Alrighty, another day here on the homestead, folks. I just want to warn you, my allergies have been kicking my tail. I am not my boisterous self. The smoke from all the fires, as y'all know, here in Arizona, are blowing in here. My sinuses are raw, and honestly I don't feel like doing much, but it is cool inside the workshop here, so I am going to mud and tape. I did some mudding and taping off camera the other day, but I'm just going to give you guys a sneak peek here what I got left to do, and I've got to come back, sand everything, and I'm not the best drywaller. Okay, I can hang it, but mudding and taping is not my forte. I can do it, but I ain't great at it. So let's look around here. So I started in this corner, mud and taped this corner over to where I had stuff piled, and then I went into this corner, and all the stuff that was in this corner we moved out and piled all the way around. In this small area, I just kind of got to shuffle stuff around. I'm going to scrape it with a knife and then sand it and do another layer of drywall. Like I say, I ain't the best drywaller, but it's a little area. Thank God I don't have to do a whole house, just this little workshop. And then once we mud and tape everything, I don't know if Miss Polly is going to want me to texture it. I think we're just going to sand it down smooth and paint it, be done with it. We're hoping the wood prices go down and I can do some 4-inch tongue and groove up here and give it a kind of a finished look. We probably will paint it white. Everything will be white in here. It's just a little bit more cheerier if everything's white. So I need to move this stuff. I'm going to continue mudding and taping right on around through here, get this corner done, and then I got to move our new stove out of the way, everything back over in here, and do that corner, and the first coat will be done. I'll just have to keep shifting things around until I get it finished. Probably take about three times going over it, sanding and stuff to make sure that everything's smooth like we want it. I want it nice as I can get it, but you know, it is a workshop. But the drywall, I kind of like for it to be kind of smooth. And there was a plug behind the drywall I had stacked in that corner that I didn't get to. I need to install that electrical plug as well. Now that I have the electrical run down to the solar box, as soon as we can get a system on there, I can go ahead and power this. The only thing I have left is the light fixtures, but everything else is wired, and hopefully I didn't shoot no nails into no wiring. I put guards on everything, metal guards, but who knows. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this video. I'm out of mud. I'm going to pick up some more next time I trip into town. Finish this up. I've got to get some sanding. I guess they're like sand. It's not sandpaper. It's like a grit that goes on a little old gripper thing, and you sand it all down. I've got one of those out there, but I don't have any of the pads for it, I guess. Not real familiar with drywall. I've done a bunch of it, but like I say, it's not my forte. So that's going to end it up. We are little bit by little bit getting all these little projects done here around the homestead. 100-degree heat especially during the middle of the day. It kind of cools off in the evening. Even been raining last night. We got a pretty good rainstorm, so really like that. It cooled everything off way up until like 10 o'clock today. Now it's back in the high 90s, but we do what we can when we can handle it. And that's one of the things when you're homesteading and you live a minimalist lifestyle. That's one of the reasons we got out of the rat race, was so that we could do what we wanted when we wanted. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to do around here, and I've got to budget my time on and off the homestead, but when I don't feel like it, I don't do it. I just kick back, read a book. That's what I think retirement's supposed to be. Maybe I'm wrong. Is to enjoy your life. We go fishing. I read a book. Miss Polly plays games. She does beadwork, that sort of thing, and that's what it's supposed to be like. We worked real hard for a long time. On that note, I have arthritis real bad. A lot of folks don't know that. Some of the people who know me more know that I have arthritis real bad. I take moringa for it. It's something I deal with. There's some days I feel really good, and other days I don't feel so good, especially if we worked hard. Yesterday, we went out, helped a friend of ours out. It wasn't real strenuous work, but it was a lot of up and down, pulling. We were putting up some electric fence around a dog kennel to keep the dogs in so they wouldn't dig out or jump over. Today, I don't feel as hot. It's just one of those things. And that's one of the reasons we quit the rat race. I didn't want to be working until I was 85. So this place is our retirement. Once we get this place operational, we'll have very few bills, very few things that we have to take and work for. We'll have food, we'll have a food source, water source. Once we get all these things operational, our lives will be simplified a bunch. So, all that being said, we're really excited about getting some of these projects squared away. Lumber prices are dropping, things are looking up for people who are building. So, until next time, remember, pray hard, stay strong, ride on.